Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm talking about managing distance relationship. I'm going to show you 5 tips that you can use to manage your distance relationship. I'm doing this video because most of you got to me asking, how can I make a distance relationship work? How do I manage a distance relationship? Does it really work? Would it work? So, to give you that response, I am back today, even though I thought I was going to take a break on relationship issues, but I just realized you guys are enjoying it and I want to give it to you. So, let's delve into it. Tip number 1. There is the need for consistent and good quality communication. In every relationship, communication is key, but when it comes to distance relationship, you do not want to mess with communication because it is the only vessel through which you both are demonstrating your love and affection to each other. So you don't want to mess up with your communication. You have to be very careful how you talk to each other. It is very prudent that you use a lot more of audio communication and video communication because it would help a lot. But when you depend on texting, I tell you, texting can mess up your relationship. It can cause you a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misinterpretation of what the other person is saying. So it is very prudent that you use a lot more of verbal communication, phone calls, and video calls. Now we have technology, which is so helpful. So a lot of WhatsApp video calls will help, Skype calls, whatever medium you want to use to communicate, use it. Just make sure that you do not depend on text messages because the other person can misinterpret or misread what you are actually communicating or saying. It's extremely important to have consistent communication. Consistency helps you to be updated and to know what's happening to the other person. It also keeps you feeling closer, and it's so super in a relationship, which is distance. Don't take the other person's time for granted. Don't feel like I'll talk to him or with her when I feel like or when I want to, because the moment you begin to demonstrate this, begin to feel that distance and the other person begins to read something else into what is happening. So it's extremely important to be consistent. In your communication, don't insinuate anything. Make sure there is clarity. If you do not understand something, ask for clarity. That is how a relationship work and thrive. But when you do not ask for clarity and you just insinuate and assume things in your mind and become anxious about them and begin to, pester the other person, then there is a problem. Tip number 2, there is the need for honesty and transparency. Without honesty and transparency, it's going to be hell. This relationship will not last. Honesty and transparency breeds a lot of trust. It makes the other person know that you are far away, but you can be trusted. You are far away, but you are not doing anything that he or she wouldn't do. You are far away, but your heart is still in that relationship. And when there is trust, it means the relationship can thrive and it can grow. You need to talk about things that are difficult in your relationship. When something is up or when you have a feeling, something that you feel you're not happy about, talk about it. Don't just keep it in your mind and not tell the other person. Don't assume the other person is supposed to know what you're thinking or feeling. You have to voice it out. That is the only time that person gets to know what you're feeling and gets to put himself in your shoes and get to talk about it and solve that problem. Don't go about stalking your partner, trying to know where he is now, where she is, what she's doing and all. It's not necessary. You have to allow honesty and transparency and trust to thrive in your relationship. Else, the moment one begins to feel that this person is not trustworthy, I don't think he is what he says he is, I don't think she's doing what she says she's doing, then you are actually planting seeds of mistrust in the relationship. And as soon as mistrust begins to take grounds in your relationship, it means the relationship is heading for doom. Tip number 3, make your partner part of your plans. You cannot have a distance relationship and just be doing your thing somewhere and he's doing his thing somewhere. Yes, it is very prudent for you to build your own life, give the other person space to build his own life, and you build your lives apart. But as you do that, make sure that that person is part of your plan, because how can a relationship thrive if you don't see yourself in the other person's plan? And how can you think and work towards something good, something lasting, if you don't see yourself in my plan? Don't go ahead and make a plan without thinking about how that plan affects the other person, or don't go ahead and make a decision without even considering how is this person going to feel when he sees this or hear this, at least let that be that communication of plans, dreams, aspirations, and things that you are working on, so the other person is also aware and also supports you in that regard. Tip number 4, compromise. You two have to learn to compromise, because without compromise, I don't know how this distance relationship is going to happen, or how it's going to last, or how it's going to work out. I had distance relationships, several distant relationships, I would say, but the relationship that actually led to marriage, which I am in now, happily married, was actually started from a distance. We never saw each other before. It started based on chats, phone calls, video calls here and there, before it graduated into what it is today: flamboyant, beautiful, loving, caring, honest, amazing, all the adjectives you can use to describe what it is we feel right now and what it is we share right now. But it's all based on compromise. We had time difference issues, 2 hours time difference. Sometimes it came to an hour time difference. We had, he was working in tech and I was working as a teacher. I had to be in the classroom. I can't be with my phone, but we had to compromise. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing on my mind is him. I text him, I message him, I call him, we talk, but very short. Then later in the evening, we make time to talk at length, hours, talking on video and all that. We also had issues of network technology, where I had terrible network and he had very good network. So we had to compromise. Sometimes he calls me and he'll say hello for 10 times, hello 100 times, and we had to make it work. So we had to compromise. Even though the network was terrible and he wasn't happy with the calls, we still have to make those calls anyway. So are you ready to compromise? When you're not ready to compromise, then I'm sure this relationship is not meant to be. You have to be ready to compromise. Compromise with time, compromise with your planning, your schedules, compromise with network and other things that may be interfering in your communication. Tip number 5, you have to make time to visit each other. Even though the distance thing is happening and you two might be making it work, you still need that physical contact. That physical contact where you get to see each other, get to hug each other. You need to make time to be together. All right? Plan and save towards your travel, because if you are abroad, or even if you're in the same country and he's some hours away from you, you have to make time to visit each other. That part of it is very essential. It is the spice. When you two have been apart for about 6 months, 3 months, and you've not seen each other, just talking on phone and so on, when you come together to meet, that is fireworks. It is so beautiful. It feels so good because you've missed each other and you get to talk a lot. For instance, when I travel to visit him, the first day I got so tired, I need some space, I needed to rest and rejuvenate. But then the rest of the days and weeks, it's all fun. We do a lot of fun activities. We visit beautiful places, not necessarily to go to the most expensive places, but taking nature walk, just hiking. I love doing outdoor stuff. I love going out in nature, and that's what keeps us going. We do just a lot of fun stuff. It doesn't have to take money to do that. Anything that you can do that is fun, that you get to enjoy, both of you enjoy doing, do these things, because you're going to be missing each other when you are apart. So when you find yourself together with each other, make the best out of that time. Always share the best times together. Even when you're going to fight or quarrel or whatever, remember that that time when you are not going to be close together in person is going to come again. So the moment you have together, please let go of the fight. When I was back in Ghana and my husband and I have been trying to get visa for me to join him in the UK, it was so tough for us. Sometimes I just get angry, sometimes I just get sad. Why is this not happening? I'm tired of this visa process. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. But I had to remember that we both have to make this work. So when we find each other together, I just make sure I make the very best. We both make sure we make the very best out of the short time that we have to spend together. Sometimes it's as short as 2 weeks. That's all we have to spend together for Christmas or for holidays. But those 2 weeks, we make the best of it, because we know from that 2 weeks it's going to be another 4 months, 6 months or 9 months. The longest we've been apart was 9 solid months apart when we were trying to work on visa for me to join him. So long distance relationship can work, but you have to be ready to pay the price. You have to be ready to compromise. You have to be ready to be committed to each other. You have to be ready to spend time talking. You have to be ready to, let go of any other thing and just concentrate on you two and making the relationship work. It all depends and boils down to what you two are looking for in the relationship. So long distance relationship can work. I am a living testimony. Our marriage is a living testimony. Our relationship started from a distance. Then we dated for 1 year. That 1 year we visited each other. He visited, I visited him. And I think we visited each other like 4 times. Then we continued. When we finally got married, we had to stay apart for 2 solid years. Because I just got a job and I felt like I want to do this job for at least 2 years before I leave or join my husband, and he supported the idea. So we were working on our relationship and our marriage from a distance for 2 solid years. We always phone calls, video calls, terrible network, but we went through it. You can do it too, if only you are into it and you really want it. Unless you just wanted to take advantage of the other person, then you would start to play blame games, start to give complaints, start to give excuses here and there for reasons why you didn't call. 2 weeks, 1 week you wouldn't call the other person. Please, that doesn't work if you really are looking for a lasting relationship. So that is why I've brought this particular one, managing a distance relationship. This was from questions that you've sent to me, and I hope that this has answered your questions. If you have not watched my previous videos, please find the link in the description and you can watch that. If you are new here, my name is Rita Sion. I am an author, a public speaker, and the founder of a non-profit organization called Feminine Star Africa, where we work hard to empower women and girls. Please subscribe to this channel and also click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime that I have a new video up. I hope that you are going to put in work to make that distance relationship you are in work for you. It has worked for me, and I know it would work for you too. Thanks for your time. I love you. Bye. I was working from a distance. So we were working. Oh shit. Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to be back here. Hello, lovelies.